Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier were arrested as part of FBI investigations into sports gambling.
Hey, look at it. Kareem Akbar. That's right, the educated brother from the bank. He's the real head of the CMB, the brains behind the whole thing.
I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof. If I'm going down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
And the Portland Trailblazers strike once again. What is up with this team? It's always some mess going on when it comes to the players throughout the years. Okay, it's been going on since like the 80s, 90s, 2000s. The players are either getting arrested for paraphernalia, possession of substances, DV violence, the pew violence, and now they got ties. The freaking head coach being Chauncey Billups, okay? Allegedly, this is all alleged, okay? I'm gonna talk about Terry Rozier too a little bit. Allegedly, the head coach of Portland Trailblazers being Chauncey Billups has been linked to a poker game, tied to the mafia. Like, what is going on? Literally. The freaking NBA season, guys, this current season just tipped off just this past Monday. That was 5 days ago. Today is Friday. And now you have the FBI having literal press meetings, okay? This is how I knew it was real, okay? Again, I meant to do this video yesterday, but I needed more information because, again, I saw some headlines. I was doing some research, reading articles, watching, ESPN, okay? Charles Barkley going in on, what's his name, Kenny Smith, because Kenny Smith was like, first of all, because Kenny Smith was being an idiot, talking about, well, y'all don't understand, like, gambling is addictive. It's a disease. Addiction is a disease. And, poor Chauncey Billups, he's just a victim of the addictive disease being gambling. Charles Barkley was like, please shut up. Him and Shaquille O'Neal was looking at him like, guys, this is not a gambling addiction. This is greed. This is just the lust of money and corruption and power. And I agree with both of them. I'm like, bro, Chauncey Billups he's not a victim of a freaking gambling addiction. Like, if you don't go sit down somewhere with that, Kenny, they was looking at Kenny like they wanted to slap him. And I don't blame them, okay? You have the FBI literally made an official media press conference talking about how we're not talking about, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. He said we're talking about tens of millions of dollars, okay, being funded and being stolen digitally online, electronically, due to, these poker games held that's connected to the mafia, okay, that freaking Chauncey Billups was involved in. Because at first when I was reading the headlines and I saw that Chauncey Billups had got snatched up by the FBI, and of course because of Terry Rozier, he ain't making no better. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe was he throwing games as a head coach at the Portland Trailblazers? That'd be just so ridiculous. Like, dude, you're already getting paid millions of dollars. First of all, he's a former NBA player, okay? I believe he was like an MVP, two-time champion. He got a lot of respect as an NBA player. Now he's an NBA coach. He gets a lot of respect, very prestigious, situation and just job title he has. And now you throwing games. I'm like, this is just like the love and greed of money. Absolutely ridiculous. And then it got worse when they was like, no, he wasn't throwing games. He's tied to an illegal poker ring ran by the mafia. Guys, please allow me to read to you a little article brought to you by Sports Illustrated. It is titled, Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups to be released from federal custody on Thursday, which was yesterday. Okay, today is Friday. I just had to keep getting the facts straight because I saw some headlines trying to, of course, tie LeBron James into this. They said, LeBron James will also be implemented. He was involved. I'm like, no, he was not. Leave that man alone. LeBron James is not an idiot. He would not, again, in my opinion, I don't know these people. I doubt he would risk his life. His life, his career, his family. Okay, he got a wife and 3 kids on gambling and throwing games. Leave LeBron James out of this, y'all. It says Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested Thursday morning as part of an FBI investigation into an illegal sports gambling ring, while Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups was arrested by the FBI on Thursday for allegedly taking part in mafia-influenced illegal poker games. Both were put on immediate leave by the NBA. On Thursday evening, News 6 reporter Mike Valenti shared that Rozier will be released from federal custody after he put his $6 million home in Florida up for collateral for bond. Additionally, Rozier must surrender his passport. So it ain't looking good for Terry Rozier. And if you ask me, what he did was low-key worse, because it's like as a freaking player, as an athlete, a professional basketball player, where's your integrity? This man was literally, it's like literally a timeline of what he did. They said like he was faking injuries, trying to throw games. It's like he was just being pathetic. He was doing way too much. It continues to say Valenti also reported that Rozier showed up to court on Thursday handcuffed and with shackles on his ankles, all while wearing a Hornets hoodie. He played in Charlotte from 2019 to 2024. Billups was arraigned in Portland on Thursday, and he is also expected to be released, Rose Garden reporter Sean Hyken reported. Similarly to Rozier, Billups must surrender his passport. He will not be allowed to engage in any gambling activities, have firearms, or travel, aside from traveling to New York for his trial. Rozier's arrest stemmed from him allegedly having access to private information known by NBA players and NBA coaches, and providing that information to co-conspirators for a fee or share of profits. He's been under investigation by federal prosecutors since January for alleged ties to an illegal sports betting scheme. You can read a whole timeline regarding his allegations here, blah, blah, blah. I'm not clicking on that. Says the case involving Billups revolves around rigged poker games. According to FBI Director Kash Patel and the Justice Department, 4 of the New York Mafia's 5 families were involved in the scheme. The Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese families. They say the perpetrators used poker chip tray analyzers, special contact lenses or eyeglasses, and an X-ray table to dupe players out of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that Billups and former NBA player and assistant coach Damon Jones were in on the scheme. Jones was charged on Thursday for an illegal gambling case as well. So there you have it, folks. Embarrassing for all involved, okay? And it's not just these two gentlemen, okay? It's not just Terry Rozier and also Chauncey Billups. They said that this FBI investigation then hemmed up at least 30 people tied to the nonsense. I'm sorry, but that's low-key genius, okay? But it's like, it's greedy because you are already a multimillionaire, sir. You have a beautiful wife, okay? Look at Piper Billups, okay? Freaking Chauncey Billups' wife, and he has 3 daughters with this woman. Now, I gotta give you a little bit of history about the Trailblazers, okay? I don't believe this has happened to him while he was a player for Portland. But just it's a whole bunch of freaking players. Just this past summer, Ben McLemore got 8 years in prison. He was convicted of first-degree rape of a young woman in Portland at a freaking player's home. They had like a little party. He's married. He got children. He just got served 8 years in prison. He's just now doing his time. It's crazy. Again, he used to be a former Portland Trailblazer. Okay, now Chauncey Billups, he actually in '96 he beat a case. Okay, he beat the case. He was like. It was like similar to Kobe Bryant, where a woman alleged that he raped her at a freaking teammate's house party. But he beat the case. He beat all the allegations. 2001, he married his wife Piper Billups. They got 3 beautiful daughters. Beautiful family. This man already beat a RICO once. Now you're gonna do this mess again? Speaking of RICO charges, I'm like, hell, if the NBA has freaking head coaches getting hit with possibly FBI federal RICO charges for poker games. Honestly, that's genius. But again, it's like you're a multimillionaire. So you telling me that you at a poker table, y'all wearing sunglasses that have scientific lens so you can see people's cards. The freaking poker table itself is made out of a reflective glass, so everybody plays, everybody's cards. Just pettiness. Just stupidity. Greed, corruption, and the lust for power and more money. Okay, this could all be easily prevented, okay? But again, speaking of RICO charges, this just reminds me of how Chicago Sky needs to be investigated. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody cannot convince me otherwise that something is not right. Something is going awry for my Chicago Sky up there, starting with mainly General Manager Jeff Pagliacca, okay? Allegedly. I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything, that, could allegedly get him hemmed up. I'm just saying maybe perhaps we need to investigate not just him, but starting with him, as well as even the players. You can't tell me that Sevgi Uzun, Rachel Banham was not throwing games, okay? Like Terry Rozier of the Miami Heat. Something is not right with the Chicago Sky, and if you ask me as a fan, okay, we need to just press for an official FBI investigation into the Chicago Sky. And last night it was crazy. I saw the Warriors defeat the Denver Nuggets, okay, in overtime. And I saw Stephen A. Smith just dragging everybody involved in the situation about how embarrassing this is as a look for the NBA and how, Chauncey Billups just let everybody down. It'll be very interesting to see this case. I'm going to follow this case and perhaps give you guys updates if you want it. But I find this very interesting and just so stupid. How people just get tricked out of their own spot. Not even tricked. They trick themselves out of their own spot because of lust and that corruption of greed, money, power, and just more money. It's just that never being able to be satisfied with anything. But again, guys, just please comment down below your thoughts on this entire crazy situation. I'm very much more disappointed in Terry Rozier. Don't get me wrong. Chauncey Billups is an idiot, but Terry Rozier, for him, he was literally limping around on the court trying to make it seem like trying to throw the damn game. Faking injuries. Giving out private information, that's espionage. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Just goofy. Give him 10 years. Give him the max.